Oh, hello, slide on in. It's episode 297.
What is that?
IGN UK Podcast. No, it's not. It's the best
So
start
creepy.
ever. Today,
Slide on
my
in.
name, not just today, always, my name is Gav Murphy.
You've done this before.
Yeah, and I'm joined by...
Jeremy, but today only. I'm usually Rory, but today it's Jeremy.
And...
What is going on here?
Say your name.
Daniel.
Daniel.
This is why we don't do podcasts on a Friday. It's just weird.
It is weird doing a podcast on a Friday, even though the podcast's on a Friday.
Yeah.
We're loose. We're like
Doesn't
thinking
need
of
to,
freedom.
don't need to lift the curtain.
No.
Makes no difference to the people.
Doesn't.
It will hit
No.
iTunes on Friday. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Right, let's kick things off straight away. Talking point. Hello.
Hello.
GTA 5 Online. This is why we've gone back to it.
Yeah.
Why have we gone
absolutely.
back to it?
We've gone back because they have announced that they're going to be doing free mode events. So these are events that will appear randomly in your free mode, like while you're just wandering around the town. And we've had some of these before. You've got like gang wars and some kind of lame ones where it's like pick up cars for Simon, whatever his name is. And they're all kind of...
Simeon.
Simeon, I think that's probably what it is.
If you don't care about it, you're not going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't know his name, you're not going to do it. And while they are kind of fun and entertaining, they do just kind of feel like small events that are taking place in the same world. They don't really feel that different. Now they're bringing in free these events that are in free mode where they're much more big, much more substantial. The payout's better. There's more people involved.
There's
they're
a werewolf.
They're much more fun.
There's a werewolf.
There's a Michael J. Fox werewolf. I love Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
I wanted to sing Hungry Like
new
the Wolf.
MTV
when we were at
series.
Rockstar. Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's what you watch.
No,
You
of
think
course I don't.
You think
Of course
Jason
I
Bateman is
don't.
Teen Wolf, don't you?
I've never seen... Oh, wait. Was that...
Teen Wolf 2.
I think I do know Teen Wolf 2. But no, I saw Teen Wolf. I'm a Michael J. Fox fan, so Teen
Are
Wolf
you?
1 all the way. It's good. Doing backflips on a truck. I do that like every weekend.
We're saying this, we're going back to GTA 5 Online, is because I think when it launched, it was obviously pretty rubbish. It just didn't work.
We just had some problems. There's
I
several
could never get
problems.
on it.
Which I remember way back when it came out, Keza was reviewing the online. She had
Yeah.
loads of problems just getting it
Yeah.
to work. And then we played it, but then the thing that really we were anticipating for ages was the heist, which were much discussed, often delayed.
Yeah.
I don't know were they delayed because they didn't even date them. Did they date
I don't
them?
think they were delayed.
Because they just took longer than you thought.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like you're saying delayed, but they didn't. I don't know if they
Yeah.
attached a release date. So if something
Very, very clever thing to do.
If
We
something doesn't
never
have a release
announced a
date,
release
can it
date.
be delayed?
No, exactly.
Philosophy.
We said that it might come out at some point, so don't
If
worry
you never
about
have
it.
goals, you can never underachieve.
Right.
So there's another one.
Okay.
So yeah,
Live my life.
that's what
by
I
that.
say.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we've been playing heist loads and
Yeah.
doing a bunch of heists together, and it's just so good. It's like one of the coolest PS4 online experiences I've had. Also available on Xbox One. Maybe I've never played it on
And
that,
on PC.
and on PC.
And you kind of get a feel for that, like the teamwork in some of the free mode events. Obviously, like maybe not the same level of communication and coordination that are required for a heist, but definitely more than anything
Well,
else we've
heist
seen
is a
in free
big
mode.
investment of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These
You're
are kind
talking
of small,
hours.
little
Yeah, these are really good, and
enjoyable
like
things.
probably should explain what some of them are. I keep saying free mode, but
That
like
would be a good-
there's lots like
a good
really
idea.
crazy stuff. Like so to go back to the Teenage Werewolf, which we kind of just dropped and didn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
explain. There's this thing called Hunt the Beast, where one of you is randomly selected to be the Teenage Werewolf, who wears
Okay.
a bright red varsity jacket and looks like Teen Wolf. And you have superpowers. You're stronger, faster, can soak up
I don't
more
know
damage.
about faster, but you're definitely super strong. Like,
Soak
you
up more
soak up a lot of
damage.
Yeah.
And you've got to visit like 10, 12 locations around the entire map.
Cool.
You're invisible to all the other players who have to coordinate and communicate to hunt you down.
Right.
And you're
Yeah.
invisible on their map. After each location you visit as the werewolf, you appear on the map for 10 seconds.
Right.
After the second location, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, so on. So making it a bit easier for you to like be spotted.
Yeah. Right.
And
So,
Rory was the beast.
I was selected as the beast.
You only got to pay it
randomly.
once.
Yeah, because it can go up to 30 minutes.
It's quite long.
Yeah.
Mine
Like,
wasn't- mine definitely
like,
wasn't 30
Just
minutes.
think it like it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Like
Yeah.
one person in that map. It's really hard.
Wait,
Wait, hang on,
kinda-
though. So you're the wolf,
Yeah.
and you have to go to a certain location.
Yeah.
But say...
Well, you can do any order. So you,
Okay,
like,
so then
people don't
the
know where
rest
you're
of
gonna
you are where? Just everywhere?
Everywhere.
Oh my
We
God.
just started and I was stressing out. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's awful.
I was just like,
go.
this
You
is
were stressing out. How
No,
do you
but
think
like,
I felt?
but I was just near the airport in a car, and I was just like, oh, how's this going to work?
Yeah.
And I could hear him growling, so I knew he was nearby. I couldn't spot him. And then I just started combing the streets, and then some people bundled into helicopters, so they had like an aerial advantage.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see him. If he steps on the street, he's very easy to spot.
Yeah.
Bright red jacket, looks like
Yeah.
a werewolf. easy to spot that.
Second one as
but
well.
when he's invisible.
But when he's invisible on the map, but like if he should like really be in a car at all times.
Oh, he's invisible on the map.
yeah,
not
so he's not
invisible
invisible
right,
like if you see him, but he's invisible on the map.
Okay.
So it was like as soon as I spawned in, like it was really, really stressful because obviously I can see everyone. So for me, it just looks like the whole map is just covered with people looking for me.
Right.
So it took me ages to get to the first checkpoint because I was so scared. I actually jumped off the pier and swam like the whole way because I was like way too nervous someone's gonna find me on the streets.
What?
And then I finally got there, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I can hear growling, and I hit the checkpoint. Obviously, then I pop up on everyone's map, and if you just
it's
look
like
at your
mad
map at
scramble.
the bottom,
Everyone's like,
you
"Who's
just
there?"
see all these dots like kind of like conjugating towards where you
Yeah.
were. So I could have run, I could have gotten like a sports bike or something, but what I did, I actually got into a garbage truck and drove along the streets, stopping at every stoplight, doing the right turns. And
That's a really good idea.
10 people just whizzed past me in sports cars and stuff. I had no idea that I was just sitting in this garbage truck.
So that's the
it
thing.
felt
Like, I'm trying to
amazing.
like come in the street. I'm looking for someone like driving, well, like
Messing
you,
around, yeah.
Yeah.
like crazily.
But it was like people were really, the Rockstar people were really on it. Because I remember I took a turn a little bit too wide and just kind of clipped a lamppost. And all I heard in the mics was, "He's in a garbage truck. He's in a garbage truck."
Really?
And then I just go, "Roo!" and like took off
And that's
down the
awesome
street.
because it's just like in the entire city. I was just combing streets, and at this intersection, I just saw this garbage truck just burst across. And I'm like, I'm on him, and it's cool
It was
because you feel
insane.
like
It was so
everyone's
cool.
converging on
Yeah.
this one target, and you're like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for me, all you have to do is avoid people to a certain level where you're off the radar again.
Yeah.
And then if you can manage to disappear, then it's like a fresh start. And you can just pick whatever checkpoint you
Yeah.
want to hit again.
Right.
So it's cool. There's a lot of tactics in it. I got stuck quite early. They managed to like pin me in a corner.
Yeah.
And it was just like 7 people with machine guns like shooting me. I'm like riddled with bullets and I died.
man.
It was pretty dramatic though.
Yeah.
I'd love to play again.
I pulled you out
Yeah.
of the garbage truck. It's so weird pulling out like
Teen Wolf.
T-Wolf. Just like shooting him in the head close up.
It was really, really cool. That was definitely one of my favorites.
Should
of
have
all of them.
attacked you with my hatchet.
But our other favorite was Penned In, which was really,
is
really
awesome.
cool. So basically, it'll appear up on your map, and you have a certain amount of time to get to a location on the map. And when you get there, I think it can hold about 15 or 16 people in one game, and it's this giant yellow dome. And after a while, the dome will start moving in different directions, and you and everyone else who's involved in the game have to stay in the dome, because if you're out of the
cool.
dome for 9
seconds.
consecutive seconds,
Yeah.
you're going to explode. Now,
9 seconds.
9
9
seconds.
seconds.
So it's very, very stressful. And as the
And-
dome moves, it shrinks and gets smaller and smaller.
Right.
And it kind of like throws you and takes these weird turns. So by the end of the game, the dome's only able to fit maybe 3 cars in it. And there's like 15 of you trying to like smash into each other. And like
We did
push
pretty well
people out.
first time. It was
yes.
down to me, Rory, and someone from Rockstar, and you're all like just smashing each other out
It's
of this little
crazy.
tiny dome.
It's
What's
really
really cool as
cool.
well, like when the dome's moving, and say it gets to like a factory, and it goes across the factory, you might have to drive out of the dome, go around the factory, and then join it on the other side. So you're like just crapping yourself. So you need like pretty fast car, but also you need a pretty sturdy car.
Yeah.
Because, it's like Destruction Derby at the beginning. I really like that mode.
That was
That's
definitely
really good.
one of my other favorites. It was great.
It's like the Mad Max style road chases.
Yes.
So it's kind of
It
like
was really
speed. So there's 2 teams of 4.
Right.
On the defenders, you've got 3 people in regular vehicles as protectors, and
Yeah.
then 1 person driving like a truck or a fire engine, which basically has a bomb on it, like speed, so it can't drop below 50, and it needs to get to a certain location.
Yeah.
It's up to those 3 other players to protect that vehicle. Then the
Yeah.
attacking team of 4 have like really cool vehicles, and you've just got to smash it off the road and make it blow up. It's really good.
It was
that
hard.
mode.
No one managed to
Nah.
get the vehicle safely to the... Because people just go crazy.
It's just like chaos. It's just like
But
stuff
they're,
blowing
like,
up.
the times we did our best was when there was organization. So if you managed to take out the defenders and it's just the attackers in the main truck, we were kind of talking on the headsets and we're like, all right, everyone like go to
Goes
the left.
left and then
because
barge
often
it.
maybe you're in a sports car, but you're trying to take down like a fire truck or something
Yeah.
huge. So you all have to get on the right side and then all go across and try and like clip it at the
Yeah.
end. It was really, really cool. That
I
was
can't believe they're giving away all this stuff just for free
I
all the
know.
time.
It's amazing.
Just free.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we have an interview with Rockstar North, the lead designer at Rockstar North, and he said like they're going to keep on giving it free for the near future because they want everyone to be able to play this stuff together. They don't
Yeah.
want to like hide it
Yeah.
from certain players. They want everyone to enjoy like the full suite of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
But
It's
that
really, really
that and heists is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, I know they re-released GTA last year on next gen consoles, but
Yeah.
it's like another game almost, like with heists
amazing.
included. Definitely.
And as we said, like one of the main benefits for this is if you play GTA Online, you're going to spend if you play for about an hour, 20 minutes of that hour is going to be you hopping in and out of lobbies, loading worlds. Now they've almost created an environment where you can play for the hour and have all these different fun activities to do without even having to load up a lobby or invite people.
Because that's
or
what I
answer a
think we'll
phone
do.
text.
I think we'll do this at lunch. We'll play it. We'll just stick GTA on and then just let it choose what events are coming at us like every 12 minutes, and we'll just do that as a playlist. It's like a playlist they just choose for you.
Well, that's kind of the other thing as well. Like, we would do a heist, and then as soon as we get put back into the world, there's about 5 minutes where everyone just wants to kill each other and like have fun and blow stuff up. And that's almost enough time to sustain you until the next free mode event. Like you could imagine just playing for an hour.
And some of them are like, you don't even need to be near each other. It might be like challenge. It's like get a car, and in the next 5 minutes, the person who gets the highest top speed wins a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
Or somebody who does the biggest jump.
Yeah.
Or there's I'm all over that one.
You do that all the time.
Or checkpoints.
There's
one
we
where,
should say, like, I don't know. We've sort of touched upon it a couple of times. We should say you do, like, we mentioned how mental you are, like playing GTA, but like
over
you're
dramatized
bonkers.
here.
it's
I'm not
like
that crazy.
it's not good. Like, so it's funny. It's funny when we're playing heists, but when we were doing the other heists, we weren't on the same team a lot of the time. So I would just hear Krupa just screaming, going, "What are you doing?" And like, there was only one time where we were like on the same team together, and we had to steal an armored truck, or was it a prison bus?
The bus, yeah.
And the way that you drive it like you're driving like a speedboat. Like, it's mad.
I would like
because it's just like, you're meant to not blow it up. It's meant to not be okay at the end of it, but you do have to get away from the police.
That. We were up in the wind farms.
So you're just like heading straight up, like, Rory, it's not going to go up there. Rory's not going to go up there. Rory's not going up there, and you just see the bus go struggle and then just fall. He's like, it's okay, I can flip it.
Look, it's a little unorthodox. It's a little chaotic at times for some. But
you fear my ways because you don't understand them.
But I'd like to point out that I have definitely the least death count when we play heists. It may be because I've already played all of the heists, so I have that as an advantage. But I rarely die.
So we got an opportunity in a couple of weeks to go play Just Cause 3, and like basically you can just go play it, cause as much chaos, do some crazy shit. I just thought Rory, Rory in on that one. Rory, can you do that?
I'm imagining
perfect game for Rory.
Someone like talking to the devs after and be like, "Oh, how did it go?" He destroyed everything.
Yeah, destroyed everything.
Things that weren't built to be destroyed.
That'd be a good video. 5 minutes, Rory destroys a Mediterranean island.
And then I'll play Just Cause.
Hey. Well, that's
classic.
Good. That's why we're going back to GTA 5 online anyway. So this week then, on to the Total Guff and Lovely Stuff. Which was suggested by Kyle Chester Marsden. We're going to kick off with Total Guff this week, just because I've just finished, like, genuinely one of the worst fucking cups of tea I've ever drunk in my life, Rory.
We talking about this before the podcast. First off,
it was foul. It's like hot milk water.
I was nervous because I never made you a cup of tea before. So
you're a big. We should just say that you are a passionate tea fan.
Yeah. I mean,
You have a good 8 teas a day.
More now.
That's ridiculous.
At work.
I'm not the kind of arsehole that puts it in his Twitter bio, like, tea drinker.
Tea enthusiast.
Yeah.
Those are the worst people who do that in Twitter bios. Get out. Movies, hot dogs, tea enthusiast.
I also, second...
Serial eater.
Slight tangent, but second to tea enthusiast is people who put the handle of their girlfriend or boyfriend in their Twitter bio. Fuck off. I'm not having that.
Who does that? I've not seen that.
People do that. Being like, better half of.
Gav, do you not want to know the Twitter handle of the person they're seeing?
No.
Well, that is essential information.
And to be fair, like, if I ever went out with a girl and she thought it was a good idea to put my handle in her bio, then that's more for her, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, no one's advertising the fact that they're going out with me, to be honest. Anyway, this tea, Rory, what you got to say for yourself? Well, it was foul.
One, I was nervous.
It looked like you poured water and milk into a mug, then you got the tea bag.
Tea.
Walk us through it.
That's what tea is.
And then you got the tea bag and you just rammed it on the mug rather than inside
fisted it into the cup. Well, look. Another thing is I was trying to get it done fast because you were watching my interview, so I was like, I want to be there when it's all concluded. So I was panicking in the kitchen.
That's 5 minutes.
And second off, it shouldn't be that bad because I was trying to explain before, you got the trickle down tea.
I don't know what that means.
This is my system. You have a system when you make tea. You put the milk in
I make
the
tea that I enjoy drinking. That's the system.
It's weird. So what I do is if I'm making like a chain of tea, you look like me like I'm insane.
You are insane, that's why.
Well, no, I just want to see where you go with this.
You put the tea bags bags in each individual cup, and then like as you press down to get the tea out when it's like brewing.
You shouldn't have to.
Well, that's how I do it, to get all the goodness out of the tea bag.
No, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to press tea bags.
And then, so if there's like 3 cups,
That's absolutely true. Yeah, if you've brewed it enough, you should just be able to take the tea bag, like lift the tea bag.
How long would you leave it in for?
3 or 4 minutes.
Jesus.
yours brewed for like 5 seconds. So that might be.
But he punched the shit out of the tea bag there.
Well, the point being is
that's
that
why
you,
that's why they call it.
you like
do you want to brew? Because you let it brew. Not do you want to squeeze?
Oh.
it's a different thing. You push the tea bag, and then when you're gonna do the same with the other one, you have the tea bag from the first one, and then you like push it so you're getting like double tea bagged. That was just the way I wanted it. That was just how I wanted it to sound.
I don't want
So
any
you got double tea bagged.
half Irish,
so it should
half
be like extra...
American mutants making my tea anymore. So that's total guff, Rory.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you how to make a cup of tea properly.
You show me. I don't have time for it. I need instant tea. I need a powder that I just throw in and just go, whew, and it's done. I don't have time for this.
All right, what else is total guff this week? Krupa?
Just the worst thing in this movie called The Visit. So we went to see The Visit a couple of weeks ago. Reviews up on the site. Lucy,
this weekend.
It's out this weekend.
If you listen to the podcast this weekend.
That'll date well. Lucy has reviewed it. It's on site. She likes it quite a bit. I probably liked it a bit less. But there's one thing in particular that's total guff in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a little kid in it who is very white and he raps like a little white kid, and it's awful. It's terrible.
Why would they have that? Who wrote that?
M. Night Shyamalan. Easy for you to say.
A lot of people don't like M. Night Shyamalan, but I wouldn't say write this film off because it's an M. Night Shyamalan film. Go see this film because it's got some good horror.
It's got some interesting stuff in it. Like I've got problems with it. We can maybe discuss later once more people have seen it. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely one of his better films. Like The Happening. That fucking awful.
Oh my god!
Shut up.
No, you don't. No one likes The Happening.
I generally do.
You're talking about films you nearly walked out of the other week.
Yeah.
I've never walked out of a film, and I wouldn't on principle. But close to The Happening, yeah.
I didn't mind it. It was
anyway,
so bad.
This little kid, M. Night Shyamalan's written this, and I think he thinks, this kid, like, it'd be good to make him into rap.
It's awful.
But all of his cultural touch points aren't that of how old do you say he is? 10?
Yeah, he's 10 or 11.
10, 11 kid. Yeah. Like, all of the, like, cultural references he makes or
M. Night
Shyamalan's of a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
So he does this thing in the movie where instead of swearing, he'll say the name of a popular female American singer.
Yeah.
Or a popular
so
singer.
lame.
So he says, it's not just American, he says Shakira. Yeah. He says
Katy Perry.
But then the words
Sarah McLachlan.
Shania Twain. What 10-year-old kid is saying listening to Shania Twain if he's into rap?
Yeah. It's really sort of misjudged, that bit is. But like, to be fair, like Lucy's review that I was reading, the tweet that went out with it was just like, it's a good mix of comedy and horror. I don't agree with that at all. Like, it's being billed as this like horror comedy. It's not
I don't
funny.
think it is. I don't think it's horror comedy.
It is. Like, people are saying that it's like a comedy.
But I don't think.
Oh, you don't think it is?
No,
okay, yeah.
no. Like, because I kind of heard that before we went to see it. No,
it ain't funny.
No, there's not. No,
but there's really good horror stuff in it, though.
Yeah, like
what are we giving on site?
8.
An 8.
Yeah, like it's decent and there's some good stuff in there. But yeah, I can't. There's no gags in it.
No.
Like some of the stuff you laugh because the way that some horror makes you laugh because it makes you uncomfortable, and it's a way of kind of releasing that tension is to laugh.
Yeah,
I laugh at all.
But
horror.
like, so the thing that I like, so the little kid raps, right?
Yeah.
And he's meant to be quite good at it. The way that you make that funny is to make him shit at rapping. Like, you make him really rubbish at it. Like,
he's
rapping like
rubbish.
Flight of the Conchords rapping.
He's pretty, but like
he is rubbish. But they think he's good. Like, they generally make a big thing out of the fact that he can freestyle.
He's like saying like he's rapping to his grandparents and he's saying the word "ho."
Yeah.
And they're like loving it. I don't think they would. My mum would tell me off if I was little.
What does a 10-year-old rap about? What problems do they have?
School and stuff.
School, yeah. Basically, he can chuck. His big thing is he can freestyle. This is a real thing. And he's like, I can freestyle about any subject. Go on, do it, and chuck it out. The kids are actually pretty annoying.
It's actually horrifying.
Yeah.
It's like one of the scariest things. Like, there's a sequence at the end where he raps over the end credits.
Oh God,
that is particularly bad.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
That'll clear out the cinema.
Yeah.
Go on.
That'd be so funny. Just like the credits roll, like
just like
yo, he's a director,
yeah,
M. Night Shyamalan.
That's
It's like
pretty much it.
Off,
I
like,
just can't believe someone's like at the screen going, can we just get rid of this?
Yeah.
Really?
It's so cringe to like
It
actually
is.
sit through.
But also think about it, M. Night Shyamalan's like been writing. He's like having to write little freestyle
Little
kid raps.
that's
it's not fun.
okay. That's not
That's the thing though. It's just a bit of a shame because I really like the film, except for the a lot of the stuff that the kids say and do.
Which is a big part of the movie in many
It's about
ways.
60% of the film.
And it's also found footage shot with at least two red cameras. She takes there's this bit where she interviews her grandma, and she's got better tripods than we've got,
100%
which isn't
better
saying
than what
much.
we've got, yeah.
That isn't saying
No.
much.
But she's got proper sound gear. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It's-
She does her own junket with her grandma.
It's a really odd found footage film because for me, I was just like, it's M. Night because M. Night Shyamalan like very famously said that he doesn't think modern horror is good at all. So it's really strange for me that he's gone, well, I'm going to make a found footage like film, and it's good, but it's really strange how they make such a big thing of the found footage. Like this girl, basically, the main girl in it is making a documentary about her grandparents, and it never looks like she's making a documentary.
Yeah.
It's like, how has she got this camera?
I
It
think,
always looks perfect.
I think they overplay her being like a young filmmaker.
Oh, God,
Too
yeah.
much. It's just like auteur theory and mise en scene.
Yeah.
You could just like strip all that away and just say she's making a film about her
Just make a film,
grandparents.
Don't
Like,
make her into a dickhead.
yeah,
No one
making her
talks
really
like that.
pretentious. Yeah,
People
no
don't-
one
even in
does.
film school,
it's
no one
almost
talks
like
like
it's
that.
almost
Yeah.
like a stereotype of like a film character. It's
Yeah.
like give her a backstory.
Yeah.
She obviously, what would be her motivation? She's obviously into film.
Yeah.
Like, it's really heavy-handed, that stuff, and same with the little kid and him having
Yeah.
like phobia of germs.
Yeah.
like
Oh, God,
it's
yeah.
really heavy-handed. A lot of the characterization.
Yeah. The bit,
Anyway, we're just
Talking about
we're
shit
guffing it.
things.
We're guffing it. But just to get onto found footage.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people dismiss found footage, saying like,
Yeah.
it's crap. Like, it's not. I think a
No.
lot of bad films have used it.
it's done well.
but done well, it's amazingly
Yeah,
powerful.
Overfield. Ooh, I
Wreck.
love that movie.
You've seen Wreck?
I haven't
really
seen
good.
Wreck actually. No.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is
Wreck. I
really
think
good.
Wreck's brilliant.
Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
And obviously Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
back at the beginning, like
Yeah.
that totally makes sense, and it adds to how scary that movie is.
I
Definitely.
liked Chronicle
Like-
too. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Chronicle uses it really well.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, there we go. That's Total Guff. What else is Total Guff this week? Oh, yeah. It's me now. The rubbish reaction to the gay character in Star Wars Aftermath. So Star Wars Aftermath just came out. Chuck, what's his name? Wendigo?
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
He's a mythical creature.
Yeah.
Wendig.
What's Wendigo?
A Wendigo is
Isn't that Tearaway?
there is a Wendigo in Tearaway,
But
but
what is Wendigo?
what is Wendigo?
Oh, I think about Mandingo.
I don't.
I don't think there's a
construction-
real creature.
The
that
construction of your
boring
sentence
stuff.
doesn't work. Like, I'm just looking at you. You're looking at me going, "What is Wendigo? What is Wendigo?
What's a Wendigo?
A Wendigo is like a mythical creature, like a yeti
Okay.
or something like that. There's a
Right.
really good Algernon Blackwood weird story called The Wendigo. That's
Okay.
really terrifying.
So it's an actual mythological creature.
yeah.
A Wendigo.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up.
I tell you
now.
what it isn't though. It's not the man who wrote Star Wars Aftermath, which
Might be.
which is a new we've been really looking forward to this on Rebel Base, and it's basically talks about the events that take place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
But one of the main characters is gay,
Okay.
and people don't like that at all. What are
Why?
you doing?
Look at what a Wendigo is.
Okay, so so people, there's been a bit of a backlash about this, saying just from the general disgusting people on the internet who don't like gays, women, or anything
Oh,
nice.
that lot again.
Yeah. Like basically the worst crop of the internet.
Yeah.
Sort of going, we're having it rammed down our throat. I've read a bit of the book. It is not rammed down your throat.
Does it matter?
At all. No, it doesn't matter
Like,
at
at
all.
what point
That's
does
the thing.
does even anyone's sexuality an issue
It doesn't
in Star
at all.
Wars?
The only
It's
time
not at
it
all.
gets made into an issue is when the disgusting people of the world go, oh no, I mean, I don't mind gay people, but not in Star Wars.
Not in Star Wars. Can I not just have one thing that belongs to me?
But it was a really annoying thing because the like I haven't finished the book, but by all accounts it's really, really good. But people have been putting 1-star reviews on Amazon.
Oh, come on.
So it's really sort of hurt. If you go on to Amazon, you see it. I think it was on like 2.5 stars the last time I checked, which kind of sucks. But where Chuck Wendigo's done a really cool quote about it. He says about the people who are having a go, saying like they're the real Star Wars fans. He says to them, "You're not the Rebel Alliance. You're not the good guys. You're the Empire, man. You're the oppressive
Yeah.
totalitarian Empire. If you can imagine a world where Luke Skywalker would be irritated that there were gay people around him, you completely missed the point of Star Wars.
But maybe
How
that's why
awesome is
these
that?
people
That's
like
so
Star
true.
Wars.
Yeah.
They love the Empire. They're like, these guys. These
imagine if they
these
just like,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
good,
well,
we wanted
good,
it, yeah.
good. That's who I identify with in Star Wars. So
Well done, Chuck. You've done the book for me.
I like order. I like oppressive regimes. They're like amongst my favourite things.
Yeah.
Wendigo is
We're going back.
a half-beast creature appearing in the legends of the Algonquian people along the Atlantic coast and Great Lakes region of the United States and Canada. Do you want to see a picture of one?
I would love
Yeah.
to.
Terrifying.
So that. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What is that?
So Wendigo. Just
Search for Mandingo.
Oh,
Let's
it
see a
looks like
picture
an
of that.
anemic deer.
Mandingo. What's this?
Just have a look. But yeah, like Wendigs are in Tearaway Unfolded. Your
Oh,
review
yeah.
is out right now. Have you found it?
Yeah.
What is it? Describe it to us.
I'm just going on image search.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There's loads of them.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else? Total Guff, Rory.
More Total Guff is that Sony is already moving ahead with the Goosebumps sequel. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen a lot about the Goosebumps movie that's going to be coming out,
Yeah,
starring
looks cool.
Jack Black. Really?
I think it looks alright.
I'm very, very
Do you
skeptical.
like Goosebumps?
I loved Goosebumps.
Ah, cool.
Absolutely, like
What's the
loved it.
problem
It's one of
then?
my
I used to like
favorite
those
movies.
ones where you remember, like it was like three collected together, and on the front cover you had the three images. Like, the covers of Goosebumps were amazing.
amazing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
stuff getting sucked into that slime.
Yeah.
It's
I used to-
terrifying.
I used to get like the three together. There's a really good one, like Night of the Dummy.
Yeah, that was really
That
good.
was
Night
one of the
Night
early
of the Dummy
ones.
is like a really, really good one.
I used to love
I'd like
the,
to go back and read some actually.
yeah.
I used to love the,
really
you know,
good.
the choose your own adventure ones where you'd like start and then you'd reach a
I
point.
never-
and you had
I
to
never
pick.
liked those
They were
ones.
really cool. I would end up just going through every
Rory
like
drives
adventure.
off cliff.
Yeah.
It's not an option.
Do you want to run from the monster or blow everything up?
Blow up the monsters.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical about it because I thought it's kind of a meta idea where it's not really involved with the stories.
yeah.
It's that they actually meet the author of
Yeah,
the
because he's
Goosebumps
R.L.
books.
Stein, isn't he?
Exactly.
Jack
Yeah.
Black.
That's a cool idea, though.
Well, it depends how it's executed.
Yeah.
It could be quite tacky. There's a lot of CGI in it, and if it's just a Jumanji style kids running from every single monster in the Goosebumps
It's
thing.
not going to be every. They're going to keep some back for sequels and stuff like that. I think it's going to be, the big ones. Like
I like.
there's a
I
werewolf
think that's
one,
a good
a dummy.
because it's like probably there's no single like a lot of those as well were like quite derivative. Like he was playing on stuff that kids might not have seen, like
Yeah.
Night of the Dummy, like Dead of Night, the old
Yeah,
Ealing
yeah.
thing. Like he's probably he's riffing off like established
right,
horror.
yeah.
So I quite like the idea. Like no single one would they adapt into a film and play it straight. And there's Goosebumps. So I think this is a good way of like
I do,
tapping
yeah.
into all of Goosebumps because I think people have read so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people R.L. Stein's such a good name.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's really
Yeah.
cool.
I don't know.
What
It'd be
else
really
has he
good
done?
though.
He did something else, didn't he?
I was thinking about like that though. While you were just saying that, like having this sort of like Goosebumps like shared universe. Can you imagine if like Nickelodeon did like a shared universe? Like did like a Pete and Pete, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
be amazing.
Like Sister.
Keenan and Kel?
Keenan and Kel did like a big shared universe.
so
film.
And Rocko's Modern Life.
Like imagine
I
that.
love
That'd be
Rocko's
so
Modern.
good. Like
That'd
all the
actually be
awesome
insane.
cartoons like Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause Rugrats movies did quite well.
Well, that was also another announcement that Nickelodeon said
What?
this week that they're going to be looking at bringing back some classic Nickelodeon
Cartoons?
TV shows. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it was Rugrats, Hey Arnold, something like that.
Yeah.
They said they would either come back as small series or kind of one-off movies.
Right, yeah,
But
yeah.
that would be amazing. I'd love
What was
to
your
see.
What
like,
was your favourite cartoon of that era?
I had a
Rocko's
lot.
Modern Life probably. Or hey,
Rocko felt
Real-
like it was skewed a bit older, even though
Real
it was
Ve-
Monsters.
some of
was
those
Real
really
Monsters
good.
really good.
Good.
Ren and Stimpy.
I liked
Slightly later, but
Ren and Stimpy was a bit older as well, but I remember there's
Yeah.
that amazing episode with Stinky the fart.
yeah, that's really good. Ren and
He gets
Stimpy.
like-
can't write that stuff.
Gets
That's
locked out at
genius.
Christmas. It's called Stinky. isn't it?
After that, slightly later, but Ed and Eddie.
I loved Ed
I've
and Ed.
never
That was
watched that.
Cartoon
Loved that.
Network,
That
though.
was really, really good.
Invader Zim as well was also
Yeah.
freaking weird as
But
hell.
my favorite thing of all Nickelodeon was Pete and Pete. Because it was just
know
so
what that is.
strange.
I've never even heard of Pete and
It's
Pete.
amazing. It was kind of like, like remember like Round the Twists? It was kind of like that, but not like stories. It was about these just two kids, and they would do this really weird stuff. Kind of like, it
What channel did you watch this on?
It feels more like Napoleon Dynamite. That kind
okay.
of like feeling and stuff to it. But I really, really like that. But
Can I read you the plot summary to my favourite episode of Ren and Stimpy called
Yeah.
Son of Stimpy?
Of course.
When Stimpy farts, he believes he has given birth. He tells Ren about the incident, but Ren won't believe him. Soon, Stimpy loses Stinky and relentlessly tries to find him. Stimpy finds the fart and joins Ren for Christmas.
But Rory, so why are you saying this is guff?
I'm just a little bit nervous. I don't know how the original film is gonna pan out, and I don't really like this new idea of moving ahead with sequels before the actual reaction.
Gotta have a plan, man. In Hollywood.
I don't know. I think it's messy. Like if this bombs, and then what? Are we gonna get another bomb, or are they just gonna cancel?
Why
it,
is it your
or-
problem?
It's not my problem, but it's
keeping him
it's
up at night.
something from my childhood
Don't worry
that I
about it, man.
treasure, and I don't want to see it tarnished by Jack Black.
Okay. Well, there we are then.
There we go.
So that's the last of our guff. So we're moving into lovely stuff through the way of something that's half guff, half lovely stuff. And that is a thing that I went to last week called The Owls Are Not What They Seem. So it's this like Twin Peaks dining experience. And like me and Tilly went along to it. What are you doing on your phone?
I want to look up something for my section.
Stop looking up
To make
things. It distracts
Sorry,
me. It distracts me.
sorry.
I
I know
I'm just
it's
looking
been
at
when
your
other people
phone.
do it. I just
Does
sorry.
it?
Yeah.
Why are you fucking doing that?
Sorry.
Anyway, so The Owls Are Not What They Seem. It's a Twin Peaks dining experience. Do you like Twin Peaks?
Yes.
Do you like food?
Yeah.
There you go. You should go to it. No. Me and Tilly went along to like one of the first nights, and like these things are really popular now, sort of like immersive like dine-in acting experiences, and it kind of like is half between a food experience because you have a 3-course meal and like a theatre experience. So you're given a character and you're meant to act it out, and I love these sort of
A
things.
character from the show, or like
No, just
it's
like a
original?
character from who lives at Twin Peaks,
who go to the
basically,
diner and stuff.
Yeah, it's because it all takes place basically in the diner and like other parts, other rooms and stuff. But because it's not officially licensed, Twin Peaks.
Do they have to change the names?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone is kind of in this like sort of like dream state.
Is it like Log Lad?
No, all the characters are there, like Log Lady and stuff like that is there. But it's for me like my biggest problem with it is I really like this stuff, and I really like getting into character, and I really like staying in character as well. So I was given the character of this. This like town like psychic. And I thought, well, I'm gonna be in character, and it gives you like a proper little mission and stuff to do. And I was like, this is awesome.
You went with Tilly. I can't imagine Tilly embracing that.
Tilly went to the one before me,
right.
and I went to one after. Yeah, Tilly would definitely not be involved in that. Like he didn't really want to get involved in the Star Wars when we went to.
I can't
which is
imagine
why we
him
sort of
doing
ditched
that.
him. Really
Imagine you going around going, oh.
I wasn't doing that, but I was. You basically get given a mission on this thing, and actually, that's a really, really good thing because sometimes at these theatre experiences, you kind of have to make your own fun, which is good. But this is
you're
like
up for it, yeah.
Exactly. This was like half make your own fun, half you actually had something to do.
Yeah.
But my big problem is like, one, we were on like a press evening, and I was sat next. I introduced myself to a guy, and like when you just look at someone, you're just like, me and you ain't gonna get on. But he was on my table, and I introduced myself, and he went, "Oh, I review cocktails," and I was like, "I don't care, whatever happens now." Like I know you shouldn't judge people based on their jobs. I'm sure a lot of people judge us based on our nerdy jobs, but I review cocktails. No, I'm sorry. And like when the cocktail came over, he was like, and he was like taking notes on it. But he was like,
oh, no.
He was maybe like 22 years old, something like that. You could tell that everything he was doing for our benefit. And like, I don't think anything that he did. Like I saw him write down at one point, green. What are you writing down?
Well, you got
Thoughts
to
for later. Green.
Yeah, you can't remember stuff.
But then his in fairness, his other friend was just like, "Oh, where'd you work for?" I was like, "IGN." He was like, "Oh," and then he was just basically like, "Oh, can I send you like links?" No, mate, I don't work for HR, so I can't get you a job. Like, but he's like, he was like, "Oh, I really want to work for IGN. Like, have you got any jobs going?" It's like, this is not how you get jobs anyway.
Well,
like,
accosting you while
At
you're playing a
Twin Peaks
psychic at a Twin Peaks immersive dining event.
Yeah.
But
It's unorthodox, but
back to the actual thing. It's £66, right? And I think that's quite expensive. But you do get quite a lot. So you get a cocktail, you get 3-course meal, and there's like a little bar thing that you get into afterwards. But my main problem with it is that they have. When we went anyway, maybe they don't do this every night, but they had 2 show-ins. So they had people in at 6,
yes.
and they kicked
Turn
us,
around.
and then there was like a quick turnaround of those people. So if I'd been at that one, because I went in there for 8:30, so they only had 2.5 hours to do all this stuff. Like that's not enough time. And to be honest, they kicked us out. They kicked us out of like the diner and into the there's like a little basically a bar afterwards you go into. They kicked us into that pretty early to the point where like I didn't have time to do my mission. Because you're meant to do your mission in between.
It's like
in
they just
between
want to get
courses.
lots of people through, don't they?
Yeah, but then at the same time, even if it was only just that 8:30 till 10 or whatever it was, I was in there. It wasn't enough time. So like, I actually cared about what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I've got to go to the mask room and I've got to sit there and wait for this person. So I was like, okay, but I went to do it, and there's no one came in, and then someone came in and was just like, oh, your dessert's downstairs? And I was like, that you're not even in character.
I know it is. I'm a sidekick.
Yeah. But also, like, they literally came in and was just like, oh, your dessert's downstairs? You're not in character right now. That is not something someone
Excuse me, you were fried. Yeah, your dessert's downstairs.
Compared to like Secret Cinema, when we were just ordering drinks from the bartender, and then I was just like, any off chance you know where we can get spice?
Yeah.
And then he was like, what do you know about spice?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh,
everyone
nice.
is in character.
Nice.
Like, it was
Yeah.
amazing. It
And
was
you got
really
loads
cool.
of
Well,
heroin.
this is the thing, like...
So he was talking about real drugs.
There was a couple of people, like the log lady was fantastic. The agents were really, really good.
Yeah.
But like the sort of like incidental people, they're just sort of like NPCs, just like around the place.
Imagine being a real life NPC.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But like they just
Took an
weren't
arrow
that
to
good.
the knee.
And the thing is about there's a lot of these like dining experiences and like the immersive theatre things coming up. So basically what happens is a lot of people don't get paid very much to do it. So you get these like rubbish actors basically. And there was a couple of people at this who were really bad. But then I did have one amazing scene with this sort of like with the doctor and like me and the lady I was with, we got like a therapy session in his caravan.
Really?
It was brilliant. Like it was so good. So I think like I'm kind of in the middle of this is kind of in the middle of guff and lovely stuff for me.
Could be a bit better.
It could be a bit
66
better.
pounds,
But it's still
though.
good.
That's so much money.
That's it because you get food and the food was really good.
Is that how
Oh,
much
it
you
was
pay
good.
for food?
Well, it's a 3-course meal plus an immersive dining experience, immersive theatre experience.
That's a lot of money for 2 hours.
It is a lot of money for 2 hours, but I think the actual thing is actually longer. So.
I'm just thinking about all the other things I could buy with
Well, you
66
used,
pounds.
well, you used to, like, for your lunch when you first started working here, you used to have a bag of donuts
I knew
for
you
a
were bring
pound.
this out.
You love it because
I don't remember the context, but I did have
one
to
of the
eat donuts.
courses.
I don't remember the context, I just remember the donuts.
Without spoiling too much, one of the courses is donut related. So
It's just
Oh,
a bag of donuts. Tesco's cream filled.
£66, please.
Yeah.
It's called The Owls Are Not What They Seem, and I would say if you're a really big Twin Peaks fan,
What's this one? Your £6 ticket?
I don't know what that is. I think
£6 on a piece of
so.
paper.
66.50 is for the diner ticket. Owl's Nest ticket is £6. So I think that is just like the
entry.
bar afterwards.
That's all right.
Which
Well,
is
that's
pretty
cool.
It's still
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I'd do that.
There's several rooms of installations, exclusive drinking den, cocktails, and stuff like that. I would say if you're a massive Twin Peaks fan, you'll get something out.
That's
You'll-
it.
you'll
I'm
really
just
like
not
it.
being
And
a
it's in
fan. I
London.
probably won't get it.
And it is in London, yeah. So if you're Twin Peaks, London, the owls are not what they seem. Check that out.
Coming over for 300. Go to the diner. Sort it out. There's a nice little. There's
more
a
on that
weekend.
later.
More on a
Wink.
thing later. But Rory, let's move on to you then. Something else lovely. Pokemon Go.
Oh, right, yes. I was trying to find another list. Pokemon Go. I'm sure you guys have seen the announcement. I'm sure everyone listening has heard the announcement. It has been all over the internet. Basically, the Pokemon Company are teaming up with a mobile group who used to work at Google, and they created a game called Ingress. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was really cool. Basically, utilize the GPS on your phone to kind of like, it had all this world data, all this map data, so it could track like popular landmarks, and they would be kind of like big points where basically the world would be split between two factions.
Right.
So it'd be like a red and a blue faction, and you'd pick which side you wanted to join, and basically it would connect with your phone, and you would have to go to these locations all over the world
Right.
and capture them. So like it would be you and everyone on your team would be capturing these huge
cool.
locations. It was a really cool idea and really well developed. You know,
I
there
like
was
stuff like
faction
that.
chats, there were items, weapons. You know, like this huge game that unfortunately never really caught on.
Yeah.
But now they're
nice. It's
working
good.
with the Pokemon Company to create an augmented reality game, which is, it seems like it's going to be the same kind of thing where there'll be Pokemon located around the map.
Oh, cool.
You can go and capture them, trade them, battle them. Like it seems
This is good.
really cool.
I have
Does
several
look good.
questions.
Okay, let's do it.
So, what
I'm
is
not qualified to
what
answer
is
these
the little peripheral thing, the Pokeball?
Little
What is that?
peripheral is it's
I'm not
not
taking it out.
it's not necessary. I'm gonna wear like 5 of them everywhere. Seriously, it's a Bluetooth kind of accessory that can come with it. You don't need it to use the app,
Okay.
but basically, I think the functionality behind it is that you wear it like a watch or pin it somewhere, and it will either vibrate or light up when there's a Pokemon nearby. So you can be like walking down the street and then like, duh, and then you turn your cap backwards and you push everyone out of the way.
All right, you've lost me again
Okay,
now.
sorry, just me.
You're like really role playing it.
I'm gonna lose my
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I had a Digivice. The Digimon one used to clip on your belt, and it was a pedometer. And when you hit certain steps, it would beep, and like Digimon would appear. So I would be like walking down the street with my brother, and I'd be like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." Beep beep beep, and I'd be like, "Move out of the way!" And I'd like whip out my Digivice and like really stress out trying to catch this Digimon.
I got in trouble last time I whipped out my Digivice in the street.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You can't. You definitely
People
can't.
got away.
And the Pokeballs as well. I'm really excited about it. I think if it's executed well, and if this is the kind
Yeah,
of
it
thing
sounds
that
really cool,
Nintendo
man.
are wanting to do with mobile gaming, then
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
I've got another question.
Yeah.
So presumably an aspect of this is collecting Pokemon.
Yes.
What if like one's like in the Shetland Islands? Like
You
what
go
if
when
I-
you go to the Shetland Islands.
But like,
It's like geocaching. Have you ever been geocaching?
No.
Oh, dude, it's really good. It's really good fun. It sounds like a really wanky hipster thing to do, but geocaching is really good fun. So basically, it's like a treasure hunt that's happening all the time. So you can like, there's probably geocache around here. So people hide like little trinkets and treasures and little things to find all around the place.
What
And you
is
have-
this?
And you have to solve clues to find them. It happens. It's going all the time. I was obsessed with it for about like a good summer. But like, there's loads around
Is
London.
this like an app or something you found in a bottle on a beach? What is this? You haven't said what it is.
No, it's a website called
Oh, a website,
Geocache, and it's
okay.
also an app as well. So if you load it up, it's got like a map
They've hidden
of where
real
you are.
things.
You made it.
Yeah.
Real things.
Real thing. So like sometimes they're just little scrolls thing that you sign to say that you got it, and then you put on the app that you found it. And then other things are like there's like little sandwich boxes, sometimes little toys and stuff inside.
Oh, I don't have to go rooting in bins and stuff.
No, it's not. It's never in bins. There's always like hidden something.
Because I
really,
see
really
people
well.
doing that on Oxford Street, like going in bins.
No.
Are they
Well, they're
geocaching?
geocaching, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Well,
looking for like a squirtle. That's what's going to happen
They're staying
now.
in location, so they
Gonna
just
look like
sleep on the
crazy
street.
people.
I
Like,
found out about it. This other
Gotta find
podcast.
the trinket. The trinket's here somewhere. Like rooting through
so
the bins.
with the Pokemon,
Yes.
did they like put all like whatever 150 within like a 50-mile radius
No,
of you?
I don't want them. I don't want them to.
No, but like, do they? Well, no,
Well,
because you
look,
might just end up getting one, and then you have to go to Somalia.
No, but
no,
this
there's going to
is-
be a lot in London, isn't there? But then like.
Why? But like,
This is the thing.
For the world.
No, because that's the thing. Every time that I go to a new place, every time I go somewhere, I look on geocache and like and say, "Oh, there's geocaches there," and I go
but
around there.
I agree
So
with
it'll
that.
be like,
but
oh,
at the
now
same
I'm in
time, you
Edinburgh.
want people to be able to collect a lot of them
Look, if it-
without having to travel the
if it
fucking
works
world.
in a similar style to Ingress, what I think is going to happen at the very, very popular landmarks,
Right.
like maybe like Big Ben, London Bridge, things like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
you'll find the rarer Pokemon.
Right.
I think, Weedles, Caterpies will be just on the streets
Yeah.
that you can just
It's
go
just
anywhere.
dime a dozen.
I
Yeah.
think the very rare, like legendary Pokemon, will be in very specific ones. There was
Okay.
speculation that because Mew is in the Amazon, that he might actually be in the Amazon.
That is.
So it'd be like really cool. It
That
was
is-
cool though.
it is
imagine,
good,
imagine if you
but,
fight someone who
like,
has a
it is
Mew,
good.
and then you're like, this person went to the Amazon.
just-
He deserves.
It'll
to
be
have
awesome
the
because
Mew.
it'd be like, oh, we're in like if you go on a trip somewhere, you'd be like, oh, I go out to E3, you'd be like, I can only get this one Pokemon.
It'd be
at
amazing.
E3.
No, it is good, but it's because I like completing stuff.
Right. Okay.
And I don't have to
But-
go to the fucking North Pole.
No,
to
but this
get
is
it.
the other part of it is that trade is enabled.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have a
So
Pokemon.
it'll work its way back.
If I,
from-
if I have a
from-
Pokemon in Northern Ireland,
darkest
I can only
Africa.
get there. Someone
Yeah.
might trade me for an Arceus they found in Sweden.
This is
I love
you
this
know what?
idea,
This would be
yeah.
good.
It's a cool
if
idea.
if IGN had unlimited money, which obviously we do,
Yeah.
feature like Amazing Race, and we had to get them in a week.
We do
That
that.
would be
Imagine
really
that.
cool. That would be
If
amazing.
anyone is listening and works for a TV production company with
and wants
lots
to
of money,
fund a segment called "The Amazing."
Pokemon Race.
Okay, I was.
Well,
Gonna
this
think
is
of a
like
pun off
the reason the way I found out about geocaching is another podcast I listened to, the Explosive Alan thing. They podcast, which is good. They did like a special where they went on like a geocaching pub crawl and they videoed it, and I was like, I have to do this. It's like a treasure hunt that's happening all the time. And this is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm totally in. Sounds.
I think,
amazing.
as I said, I think they're going to use, because it's the same company, I think they're going to use all the data that they've already collected with
Yeah.
Ingress, all that logged world data, and incorporate it in the new app, which if they do that, it should be incredible. If it's
on.
executed well, I'm
There'll
unbelievably
be one in
excited.
North Korea. At least when he has to like
Super
go,
rare
go, get
one.
it.
Yeah,
I have to sneak in to get
I don't know
him.
what the
Yeah.
strictest Pokemon is. Maybe like a Hitmonlee or something.
I like the fact that you described North Korea as a bit
I'm a
strict.
shop.
Bit
I'm a
strict.
A
shop.
bit strict, aren't they?
Strict, yeah.
Right. What else? Daniel, lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff.
Tom
a couple
Hardy
weeks
and his
ago, we
dog.
went to see Legend.
Yeah.
The new Tom Hardy film where he plays Ronnie and Reggie Cray.
It's out this week.
And he introduced the movie to us.
He did.
With,
nice.
with the director, but also with his dog.
Yeah.
With his little Labrador.
And then
Where's a golden retriever? Similar.
Yeah,
And and the dog was just amazing. So Tom Hardy was giving this very earnest introduction to the movie.
Yeah.
Everyone just watching the dog.
Yeah.
Which was looking into the audience. Funny to see a dog in a cinema.
Yeah. But then
I think that's mainly why I enjoyed it so much.
But then it also...
And it's sort of like lying down and rolling around. And like he kind of did it. It was like when I was doing this film, and then the dog's just like, nah, I'm just going to lie on my back. And everyone's just going crazy. It's like, this is Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
He's probably used to people just like hanging off every single word, going, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, a dog, look at it, a dog in the cinema.
Yeah.
This is like
So
Last Days
funny,
in Rome.
That's ridiculous. To be fair,
he took it to the premiere as well.
And
He
the
took it to
dog
the
sat
premiere,
and watched the film with us because I didn't realise that. I thought Tom Hardy left, but then towards the end of the movie, he left.
You heard
see-
barking.
You see, the dog was so well behaved that Tom Hardy left through the fire exit,
Yeah.
and the dog went after him.
Yeah.
Dog using the fire exit.
didn't even get his mobile out during the movie.
What
or
a day.
anything. Yeah. To be fair, if I was a movie star, I reckon I'd bring my cat with me everywhere.
But that's the thing. You can
be
do
the
what.
mental cat
That's the
person.
thing. You can do whatever you
Why
want.
is it why is it mental if I bring a cat to the movie theater? But it's not. But it's
cats-
adorable if it's a dog.
Cats are not meant to be taken out on a leash.
My cat is. He's a little adventurer.
Yeah, but
His
you
name
don't
is
take
Ash.
him out.
He's ready to roam the world.
Is he actually? Do you have a cat called Ash at home?
Yeah.
Maniac.
And my cat's my sister's cat in LA is called Misty. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's adorable. I
Legend
bring
is
him to
out
the-
this week.
Okay.
His sister doesn't live in LA. Just the cat lives there.
Well, if she's in LA, she can catch some Pokemon for us. It'll be
Yeah,
all right,
trade him
won't it?
over.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That's good. Other lovely stuff. We've met lots of lovely people this week. Rory?
We did. I got the chance to meet Charles Martinet, who, if you don't know, is the voice of Mario, but not just Mario, Luigi, everyone. Waluigi, Baby Mario, like pretty much.
It's all the same voice, let's be honest.
Well, different
how
pitch.
dare you? How dare you diminish his
Wario
his
is
extensive career.
completely different to Mario.
Oh, that is true, actually.
Yeah, some might say he's the polar opposite. Now, like,
He's like the Roadrunner in The Simpsons, where he was like, they just give him, he does one thing and then they just adjust it in audition. That's what they do. He doesn't do them live.
well, it was
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
you were saying this to him the other day, weren't you?
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I asked him
He was
about.
handling
I really like the David Fincher film, The Game. It's an awesome film. But Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, plays Michael Douglas's father. Because actually, if you think about it, Charles Martinet does actually look a little bit
I can
like
see that.
Michael Douglas. So he plays his father. So right at the beginning, you see him there, and then you see him jump off a roof later on as well. But no,
Spoilers.
it's right. It happens right at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Does he go,
Underrated Fincher movie, that?
Yeah, it's a really
Massively
good film.
I actually want to watch that this weekend.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And Charles Martinet's in it as well. Also, another really good cameo from Spike Jonze is in it as well. So check that out. But yeah, I asked him about making that
You
film.
and the game facts.
I just really like that film.
Whipping out the big facts.
But I asked him about what it was like, and he was like, "Yeah, it was really good." But he said something happened with one of the cameras, so he just had to wait around. And he was like, "Yeah, I ate so much food." And if you look at the film, it looks like he has been eating a lot of food as well. He's a big old dude.
But not like, it doesn't look like he's been eating food like Harrison Ford was eating food in Ender's Game.
No.
And he has a bit of food on hit mouth during one of the actual takes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all.
He had to
I've seen
remove
that.
it for home ends for CGI. Like, he just got into the
Amazing.
film. There's a bit where he's obviously just got a bit of sandwich, bit of catering on. I don't think he's like
How did no one notice that?
like. I don't think he was maybe that into that movie. And it's
Yeah.
like, all right.
I don't think anyone was really
put the
into that
sandwich
movie.
down.
Yeah.
There was a bit of food on his lip.
Oh, gross.
Hopefully that doesn't happen in Star Wars.
He was nice though, wasn't he?
Awful. He was, and Mario 64 is my first ever Mario game that kind of like spawned my love of the franchise. So it was
you
really
made me
nice,
feel
like
old.
sitting down and meeting him. And then as soon as he whipped out the first like Mario impression, like I just like lost my mind.
As soon
Like
as
my
he whipped out
eyes
his Super
just-
Mario.
just like wide.
His little
It
warp
was-
pipe.
It was great. It was so cool meeting him. It was really, really awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I also met Warwick Davis, Wicket, the Ewok, and other stuff as well. but he'd always be Wicket to me.
Just met Wicket.
Yeah. But yeah, down at this really cool thing at the IMAX, like they're auctioning off a load of like old props. So he was down there chatting to us about it. We talked to him about on Rebel Base this week, which you can check out. Also, if you want to buy some awesome props, I mean, I don't know if we actually have any rich people who listen to this podcast. I can't afford any of them. But the Back to the Future Almanac was down there. So if somebody wants to buy me that, I think it's going for about $5,000. It's
Well,
gonna be
first fund the Pokemon race, and then with the money we'll learn.
Yeah. And then
the auction.
I think the prop store, they're auctioning them all off on September 23rd, which is www.propstore.com/live auction. I can't even believe I just remembered that.
Did you get to see
well
all
done.
the stuff they're auctioning off?
Yeah, Darth Vader's
what-
scab.
What?
Just a scab that they put on
At the end of Return of the Jedi. when
Yeah.
he's
What
all-
was the coolest thing, bar the scab?
the sports almanac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I mean, Star Wars stuff is really, really good, but there was nothing there that I was like, oh my god. They had a Stormtrooper helmet and an Ewok head.
Ewok head's good.
But I think,
pretty cool.
but I think all the other stuff was really good. It's like just little bits like Dredd's helmet from the new Dredd film.
I'd love to have
Like,
that.
That was really good. They also had, I really like Chronicles of Riddick. And they had like this awesome like helmet, like the sort of like old style like Roman helmet that's like 4 heads on it. Like they had that there. That was
cool.
really good.
It's always like the little things you wouldn't even think. Like we went to a convention and my brother bought. They had a Star Wars booth with all this memorabilia, and he bought a little dart that the bounty hunter uses with the gun, like the really cool like spiky dart, and it looked amazing. And it was like £5. It was like, yeah, let's like buy that.
That's not real. They didn't use that in the film.
No, of course they didn't use it in the film, but it's just like a replica. That
Yeah.
It was like £5. Yeah, go for it. It's cool. And he was like, leave it on your desk. It's awesome. I love the little things.
Awesome.
We should say that your videos, we never do this enough, like saying if you like the podcast, you can get more of this stuff on IGN, and your interviews with Charles Martinet will be live by the time this podcast is live, and you do a mushroom quiz with him.
I do a
really
mushroom
good.
quiz.
I just watched it.
I won't tell you how well he does, but he deserves the role of Mario. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, that sounds like he does really
Well,
well.
I won't tell you too much, but he goes 6 for 6.
Read in between the lines, Rory.
Yeah. Oh.
Jesus Christ. Oh
my god, we're only halfway through.
No, we're almost done now.
Because we've done the bad stuff.
Here we go. We've done the bad stuff. We've done the good stuff. Now we're moving on to something that me and Krupa have been talking about this week. And that is characters we hate in TV shows
real life.
that we love. So I think, I don't know if I got you watching Friday Night
you
Lights.
did.
But I did, okay, yeah.
Big time.
So I got you watching Friday Night Lights, which I love. It's one of my favourite shows. And you destroyed it in about 6 days.
I had a week off work. That's basically what I did with a week off work. I've got a lot of time off
you didn't
to
book a
take.
holiday, you just phoned in sick.
Just not feeling very well. Yeah, I watched it all in about 2 weeks. It's about 5 seasons, all on Netflix.
Brilliant.
If you don't care about American football, I don't really care about American football. I don't even know the rules. I do now.
Blasphemy.
I am into it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of independent of that. It's about life in this small American town, which is made crazy by high school football.
Yeah.
These kids are treated like professional athletes.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like 16, 17-year-olds like revered. They're like fit celebrities in their little town.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
And I love Coach.
Yeah, well, I mean, played by Kyle Chandler. Like, he's such a good character.
He's a man. Like, you want to be more like him as a man.
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
Yeah.
You think like he's a great leader of men.
There was a bit last because you were talking about it all the time. I've started rewatching it, and there was a bit last night where he's talking to one of the main. I think he's talking to the running back, who's one of the stars, and he's having like a really like earnest chat with him, and then he gives him a little smile, and you're like, oh my god, imagine getting that smile,
because he doesn't like give much. He encourages people, don't give much praise, but his little phrases like that, a little smile, it's like, it means a lot.
Did you never have like a teacher like that in school that was quite reserved, but then every like tiny little appreciation you were just like, it meant so much?
I had Welsh teachers, so like Welsh people find it very hard to be reserved, I think.
Oh,
with Welsh people, you pretty much
fiery.
What you see is what you get with Welsh people.
Okay.
So I didn't really get any of that. But the thing that I've noticed about Friday Night Lights, and this is what we've been talking about, is as much it is generally one of my favourite series, and there's some of my favourite characters in TV in there, it's also got some of the worst characters on telly in it.
Oh, it does.
Like, I've actually found myself skipping through like any bit. So this is what we've been talking about. So how rubbish characters almost spoil your favorite TV show for you, and like some of them have actually stopped. So with Friday Night Lights, the worst character in it is Jason Street. Like, it's not spoilers, but in the first episode something big happens to him that's pretty bad, and he's dealing with that throughout the rest of the series, and it's
almost like with that, like, again, I'm gonna tiptoe around it.
Yeah,
it's almost like they wanted the drama of having that in the first episode.
That's right, and
then they're like, oh god, now we're hampered with this. They've
got to deal with it.
We've got to work through this for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons. It's like, we can't just get rid of him.
No.
But we want that moment.
Yeah.
So it's almost like...
Do you know what? I've started... also Lila, his girlfriend as well, is one of the worst characters in it. Like, I've genuinely started... Because I was sitting there going, oh, it's just so annoying. But I was like, why am I watching this? I'm fast forwarding through this.
Okay, to the coach bits.
Like, yeah, I was just like,
Get to bits with Saracen.
The super cut of just Coach motivating you.
Actually, that'd be amazing.
but I've
The
just,
coach head.
Pre-gym,
Coach
just
cut.
like
I've just been fast forwarding
You
through
have
all
yourself
the
a good night.
scenes.
yeah.
Yeah, I've just been fast forwarding through every single one of the scenes. So as soon as like Street comes on, like,
What's that? Is that your Netflix machine?
yeah.
That's not how
Well, I
things
watch
work.
Netflix on my Wii U, so yeah, it is kind of. They make all crazy kinds of noises. But yeah, have you got any characters that you hate in TV shows you love?
I do actually. So Breaking Bad,
Okay.
love it. I hated Marie Schreider.
Oh, yeah, she's terrible.
Oh
Awful,
my
yeah.
god. It's just there's so much good, really interesting stuff and so many conflicting characters in that show.
Oh, man,
And then
that-
it just cuts to
Yeah,
her
she's
and
terrible.
she's at an open house stealing things. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, her
this is
shoplifting thing was
it's
just disgusting. It was so
unbelievable,
annoying.
Just garbage
Oh, yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
It was
It's-
so
I've completely suppressed that.
Yeah.
Like,
and it
repressed
took up
that
a
memory.
lot of screen time. Like
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
weird troubles that were so unnecessary.
Incidental to the
It's
actual.
absolutely.
It's really annoying when they do like a lot of series do this where they have a character and they're like, oh shit, we don't actually know what to do with this person, but
Well, great example of that.
But
Yeah.
they're like season 3. We need to give him something to do. Like it happens all the time. So you see, like in Mad Men, in Mad Men, Betsy, Don Draper's wife, who becomes ex-wife. Then they're like, we got nothing to do with her. Give her an eating disorder. Like just give her that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Girls, like Lena Dunham's character, like from out of nowhere in one of the series, she's got OCD. Like never mentioned before ever, and then all of a sudden,
I
it's just
think,
like
I think that's
she's got
actually a
OCD.
thing with like long-running shows
Yeah.
that have multiple characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, the writers, there are core characters where it's like these are the ones where we're going to have drama.
Yeah.
If it's just that, the show might feel thin. What
Yeah.
we're going to do with these additional supporting characters, and they always get lumbered with the same kind
Yeah.
of storylines: eating disorder,
Yeah.
Kleptomania,
like, I'm
some
not trying to be
weird,
like frivolous, but like sexual assault is one
Yeah.
that really bad. It gets thrown around as kind of an
terrible,
incidental
yeah.
plot line. It happens in
Really
a lot of shows.
annoying,
They just
yeah.
chuck it in. Happens in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
They throw it in, and actually, you don't really want to tackle this issue. I don't think in a real meaningful way because it's
No.
not like your core characters.
lazy,
You're doing it
yeah.
as a bit of sensational filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but talking about like characters, the show doesn't know what to do with AJ from Sopranos.
He's on my list.
AJ from Sopranos. Don't know what to do with him because
Yeah.
for too long, like initially works well that he's so young.
Yeah.
But then when he grows up, it's like he's too young to get involved in the family business.
Yeah.
He's too much of a prat to actually care about. He's just moody.
Yeah.
And like while that might be accurate and it's supposed to like rile Tony that his kid's just this waster.
Yeah.
It's actually really boring to watch him.
It's
He's
really annoying. And the reason that I think that is annoying is because he's already got that in Chris Maltasanto, so
Yeah.
his nephew. So Chris is meant to be this person who's like holding Tony back, and he's just like, oh, like I'm trying to move forward with things, and you're just like a weight on me, and that's dealt with quite a lot. But then not only does he have Chris's sort of drug use and stuff like that, then he has to deal with like AJ's like fake depression,
Yeah.
and it's like. That's the same thing. It's the same. Those things exist for the exact same reasons to rile up Tony, and it's just so annoying. But AJ's definitely on my list as well. I've got a couple in Luther. Like Luther, I thought it was like I loved the first series, but there's 2 characters in there. Is DS Justin Ripley, who was played by Warren Brown. He's like the sort of guy who's assigned to Luther.
It's the right drip.
Oh, he's terrible. And the DSU Rose Teller, who plays like Saskia Reeves, she's like the chief. And she's like, I take no nonsense from you. And she's like, oh, God, she's just awful. Like, really, really bad. They've taken, like, a stereotypical chief that would be black if it was an American show, and they've just made her into this, like, horrible, like almost like a budget, prime suspect, basically. Like, it's just awful. And it completely spoils the show for me. I've stopped watching it because of those people. Yeah, that's right.
That's bad.
That
That's
is
really
bad.
bad.
And
That's
also,
really
I
bad.
stopped watching Dexter.
Imagine
and
if you were that person.
Yeah.
Like you found out that you stopped watching the show because of me.
I don't think she would care.
She listened.
Well, God. But I stopped watching Orange is the New Black because of Piper, like the main character. She's like the worst thing. Like, and I
couldn't get into that. I
her.
watched 2 episodes of that show and I was like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this is my thing. I didn't really like it.
Have you got any more?
Dawn in Buffy. You watch Buffy?
Yeah.
Dawn when she turns up, and it's obviously a plot device.
Oh right.
But his sister turns up and she's really just annoying. Again,
Harriet the Spy.
yeah, and then basically it ties into a bigger plot arc
Yeah.
for that season. But then she just kicks around and they don't know what to do
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
similar
really
theme.
annoying.
It's you introduce a character who
I mean,
initially has like a purpose and then they're kind of
It's
stuck
like a
in
good
the plot
idea, and then you're
Yeah.
like, it's just another bit of baggage we've accumulated.
Dawn, like I don't think we have to worry about spoiling Buffy, but like Dawn is basically introduced. Isn't she like a demon?
She's like the key.
That's right. Yeah,
Like, my memory of it's a bit fuzzy. I had to read up on it, but like
Cool
she's
name.
introduced at the end of one season, like 4.
That's
and it's
right,
like
yeah.
Buffy has a sister, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a sister, and then you realise that it's an implanted memory.
Yeah.
So for a
Because she
lot
walks
of the
into the room,
season,
she's like, "What are you doing in my room?"
Yeah.
Mom, and it's like
and,
she
it-
has
and,
a
it's
sister,
supposed to be like really like what's happened.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone has been implanted with this memory that she's always been there. I think that's what.
I think that's
a long while
kind
since
of
I've seen
right.
Buffy, but-
It's cool. Like I think it's a really good idea, and it's like it's a
But
really
then she's got
smart
to kick
thing.
around for a few more seasons. You're
Yeah.
like, oh.
But do you know what it really reminds me of? When I always remember it. It reminds me of the episode, the Simpsons episode with Poochie, and they've just got Roy like, hanging out with him. It's like, oh, now and again, where a show's getting lame, they introduce like a young hip character, and that's what kind of like she's basically Roy from the Simpsons.
It's like, it's a bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laurie and Andrea from The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really like The Walking Dead. I never remember the name of the characters.
So Laurie is Rick's wife.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
She's terrible.
Yeah.
And
She was in Prison Break as well, wasn't she?
Andrea, yeah. And she's good in Prison Break. Andrea is the blonde woman who's basically, she's a really big thing with the governor.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
She's awful.
awful,
She's
but
an
also
awful,
in the comics, possibly my favorite character. Like Andrea's my favorite character. She's like badass. She's really good. She makes like crazy, like really like heavy decisions. Whereas in the TV show, she's rubbish.
I like Merle. Is it called Merle, the
I like
brother?
Merle.
He just like hangs around. Is he?
Cartoon,
Yeah, he's a cartoon of like
Yeah, he
his
is.
brother. Like the fact that Daryl is his brother.
Yeah.
And Daryl is a much more nuanced character. Merle is just.
Well,
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the point that he's like?
What
the
happened to
opposite
him?
Side of, like,
Is he dead now?
He is dead.
He's dead.
That's spoilers. Sorry.
Is it?
that happened quite recently.
No, it didn't.
Didn't it?
It happened like 2 seasons ago.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But do you want to know my worst one? And it's a character.
I know you're going.
It's a character in one of my favorite shows, or was my favorite show.
There's quite a lot of bad characters in this.
It's a British TV show called Jonathan Creek.
Oh, I thought you were going Dexter here.
Oh no, I'm not going Dexter. I'm going Jonathan Creek. Jonathan Creek, when I was a kid, was one of my favorite
I
TV
look forward
shows.
to it so much every Saturday.
Yeah.
Once I hear the dance macabre, I'm like, this is amazing.
It's so
I
good.
Was
was
that
like,
the detective? Was he a detective?
Whoa. He's
Come on, detective,
Come on,
mate.
mate.
Sorry.
If
He's
you
an
want
entrepreneur.
if you want to belittle it and make
Yeah.
it sound like some shit show,
I actually used to watch Poirot.
He
So
lives in a windmill.
he lives in a windmill. He's got a duffel coat and he's a magician's ingénieur.
Yeah, so he's like one of the smartest people
Bars.
in the world.
Look at his
Bars.
face. Look
can't
at
deal
his-
with it. I can't deal with it.
But like it's good because it's a sort of mystery show with really cool mysteries that he managed to solve
Only
in really
magicians.
cool ways.
I think I think I watched a couple episodes.
Good because
My
really
girlfriend
brilliant.
winds me up. She's like, "Oh, you like that? It's like Doc Martin, isn't it?" I was like, "No, it's
It's
not like
not
Doc.
like
It's not Doc
fucking
Martin."
Doc Martin.
And she knows it just winds me up. And was like, "He's brilliant. He's in it." And then you have to. That's the problem with Jonathan Creek. You say
Yeah.
it's brilliant, and then you have to explain what it is, and you see people's eyes just glaze over. Like,
Yeah,
yours
I had
did
this with
as well.
Silicon Valley
It
last
did,
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
but then at the same time, like the really annoying thing about Jonathan Creek is it hits a point where it's like unwatchable.
Yeah, it goes. The latest series are awful. Like
What
when Rick
happens?
Mail starts showing up and it falls
I
apart,
like the Rick Mail episode,
it becomes a recurring character, doesn't he?
the first episode that
Right,
he's
okay.
in though. Yeah,
But yeah, when it's not Caroline Quentin, after season 3,
there is one episode with Sheridan. There's a couple of episodes with Sheridan Smith that I actually think is really good.
but problem with we're getting off beaten track here. But later on,
Yeah.
the mysteries are just not very good.
No, they're not. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's got this like really good X Files. It's kind of I watch at the same time as watch the X Files, and I will compare them early on. But the relationship between Caroline Quentin, who's like this like reporter, who's like I don't know how you can describe her. She's just annoying.
Yeah.
But she's annoying because they work really well together, and there's like this like almost this is really good sexual chemistry between them. That's the same as
It's really
if not better than
very
Mulder and
British
Scully.
version of that was really awkward.
It's so fucking British,
Like
unbelievable.
Alan Davis is like. I just imagine. I wonder what an American would think of Jonathan Creek.
Well, it's funny you say that because the character that I hate in Jonathan Creek, and like I absolutely despise him, is Adam Klaus, the magician that Jonathan Creek works for. And I don't think he's played by an American, but he is an American character. Originally played by Anthony Stewart Head in the pilot, and he was brilliant. But obviously, he went off to do Buffy, and we had this like pound shop Anthony Stewart Head basically.
What's so bad about this guy?
I've watched a couple of episodes recently, and he dates the show. The show is very dated. Like I tried claiming the other day that he doesn't date it at all.
For some reason, you're like, it's
He's the only thing that
done
dates
really
it.
well.
No, it's dated really badly, but he dates him more than anything. He's like this sort of like cigar chomping, like really like sexist, and just he's just not a very nice person. But at the same time, it's in a really, really like just creepy way, and
he's a
it's
magician?
really 90s, and he's a magician. Yeah.
He's the magician that Jonathan Creek makes tricks for.
Yeah. But he's I think he is the worst character in a show that I properly love. Do you have any more?
I just want to talk about Jonathan Creek more. I like in the pilot episode when they go for an Indian.
Oh yeah,
You don't see that often on TV.
No, you
Going for a curry.
Very British.
Very British thing.
That
You go for a
is
curry
very
during the
British.
middle of the day for lunch.
And he
does a trick.
He does a trick
He
for it,
tells
yeah.
the waiter to put a little thing under
Yeah.
the
Don't spoil it.
pickle tray.
It's a really good. Because there's a couple of good mysteries in Jonathan Creek.
Sounds like
it.
Bear Park would love this. Is he a fan?
He's definitely watched it.
Yeah, but I don't know if he loves it as much as we do.
I don't think anyone loves it as much as you
It's
do.
written-
We should do more Jonathan Creek content for the site.
He's
We should rank all the episodes. Just no.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Just let's just come like, just like super niche. I love the idea of us publishing that on a Friday.
Yeah.
Just go home. Americans come in. What is this?
What's Jonathan Creek?
They've ranked all 32 episodes. They've done a video component.
We're doing that. I'm definitely doing it. Right, come on.
do a
Let's
stop
have some
video now.
feedback then.
All right.
Oh, it's me first.
Yeah, you're first.
This is Will from Northampton. Just to touch on something Alex said last week about being shown Alien when he was unwell. I had a stomach bug when I was 10, and my mother, being the busy lady she is, woke up at 6 a.m. as I was feeling unwell on the couch and decided to watch the new episode of ER. And it just happened that a character in the first 5 minutes got his arm severed off by a helicopter. Suffice to say, I was not feeling good after that. Oh, that's Romana. I remember that. When he gets his arm, he's a surgeon, and then they attach it, and he's trying to do surgery with a.
What?
Yeah, not on the same day.
Why do you remember
okay.
that?
What?
Do you remember an ER episode?
Yeah.
Why?
I used to watch ER. Yeah, I didn't watch it for ages. My mum watched it. I thought, this looks rubbish.
Yeah.
And then one summer, like Channel 4 was showing it in the mornings, like
Right.
because I was getting up about 11 because summer holidays. Just watched
Like when
it
they
all.
show the new Adventures of Lois and Clark. Yeah.
And I just watched that every day, and I got really into ER. It's really good, ER.
Yeah.
That clock just scared the crap out of me.
I don't know what just happened.
I think it just turned midnight and changed to Thursday.
For people,
This is wrong in so many
for people
ways.
listening, there's a big
got a
clock,
big clock.
in the studio, and it just scared the crap out of us.
Yeah. Okay, so this is from Livon Young, who says, have any racing games driven an automobile purchase? What? I picked this. My last car just kicked the bucket. I picked up an older copy of Forza for the purpose of researching cars more in my price range. Why are you picking up Forza for that?
Surely those are very expensive.
What
cars.
video game advertising has worked by accident, or he also put, I think, like product placement, or as intended, made you curious when you hadn't have necessarily been before? Like, I put this in, I think, because of the fact that he said he picked up an older copy of Forza to research some cars.
I like that.
But actually, you can get like rubbish cars now. Like you can get like a
all
Citroen
sorts.
Saxo. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
but you can like take it for a little test drive.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't think you're going to get the same impression that a real car would give you. Have you guys ever been infected by in-game advertising at all?
Ooh.
You definitely have with like an energy
I
drink or
have.
something like that.
Well, you're actually very close. It was an SSX game.
Yeah.
And I think it's like SSX Tricky or something like that. And they have all these adverts for a drink called DNL. And I'm like, oh, that looks like the logo and everything looks really familiar. It's like green. It's got a red circle. And I was like, DNL. It's like, this is a pretty cool name for an energy or like just like a drink. And then, of course, if you flip it, it's just 7-Up.
Right.
Like they've just flipped the 7-Up logo. And then I realized I'd been drinking 7-Up for like a week.
Shut up.
Yeah. And I was like, what? How? Like, I didn't even realize. I
Are
was
you serious?
Yeah,
That
I was in the
happened?
store and I was like, I want a 7-Up. I haven't had one of those in for like ages.
That's like the Simpsons episode, the Join the Navy.
Yeah, Yvonne
I'm a bit worried
I
about
had
Rory.
enlisted and I
I
was
feel
like-
like somebody's going to say a phrase like Midnight Jaguar and he assassinates Alex. Like,
Jaguar.
don't say it, because
That's
you
my
just
go-to.
turn one day. We're fucking Manchurian candidate here.
Yeah, that's not good, Rory.
That's fine.
I don't think I have been, but then maybe I don't know. The only thing that I have been definitely affected by, and this is advertising,
Yeah.
is like soundtracks in games. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I've listened
I do that as
to
well.
music and then gone, oh, I really like that band, and then gone to see them. So as much as like that, that is advertising.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think we'll
Affected by
ever
that.
get to the point in games where companies will pay for like virtual advertising in games, like billboards, like virtual billboards?
There's a really weird thing that's just happened with Mad Max, and you've got like free Rockstar Energy Drink DLC. So it's like so you'll see like a Rockstar car going around, like some free
In
Mad
Mad
Max
Max?
in Mad Max. Yeah. So it's like the game, not the film.
Yeah, but still,
yeah,
that's
so
different companies. That's weird.
It's free DLC, and they've there's a Rockstar energy drink.
Rockstar is in GTA Rockstar.
No. Rockstar's in the energy drink.
Oh
Rockstar.
right,
Yeah.
so that's why I was
There's an
confused.
energy drink-
I don't know. I don't drink
Okay,
energy
yeah.
drinks.
There's an energy drink called Rockstar. He knows.
Of course I know.
I drink
I had one
shitloads
on
of Coke.
Friday.
Yeah, but yeah. So there's a car. Now and again
stuff.
in Mad Max, you'll just see a cartoon run. It's got a Rockstar logo on
Ah,
it because they built it from
that's
old Rockstar
weird.
cans. It's really weird. I don't know.
I'm on board. I don't care.
Of course you are, because you
We
drink
love it.
Just don't put
Yeah.
it in Zelda.
I
Keep
did-
it away from Zelda.
I did a thing once, like for like a work thing, where when Forza Horizon came out, I think it was. And
Yeah.
I drove a like a supercar from Paris to Birmingham, and it was sponsored.
The two beautiful cities of Europe.
Yeah, it was sponsored. It was sponsored by Rockstar Energy. The trip was so.
Wait, you did this in real life?
Yeah, in real life, yeah.
What? That's crazy. That's amazing.
So they basically every day they would load us up with like a crate of Rockstar energy drink in our boot of the car, and I drank because
This is my dream.
This is your
When
dream.
did you do this?
And then
We
you
were working so
over
hard.
the White Cliffs.
We were working so hard, like to get these videos because they were going up on the dashboard on the
Yeah.
Xbox Dash. So we had to work every day to do these videos every day. And I drank so much Rockstar energy drink for free that when I came home on the Friday, I was going out and I had to buy like 2 cans. Like,
Just
to
took,
live.
It took me about 3 weeks to wean myself off it because I was just like, and then when I did, I just had the most piercing headaches like every
Yep.
single day. Like it's really bad for you.
I'm
like,
addicted to
Well,
Coke.
people,
Yeah.
it affects
I
people
get
in
a
different
headache.
ways. Like people always talk about like, oh, I have a Red Bull and I peak so hard and I like crash like so bad.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't really affect me like that much.
Because you're always topped up.
Yeah,
always amped
I have
up,
one
man.
like every second. I got really bad at university. You know, in Little you can buy ones for like
Oh, yeah.
10p, like those ones. And because I was going to the gym
You're still
so
coming
much,
down off them.
I used to have like 2 before every workout. And I have a photo like
Isn't that
online.
a load of sugar in
I
them?
piled them up and built a pyramid. And at the end of the year, I had to move out of my halls, and I just had
left.
this like pyramid of cans.
That must have
It was
stank.
awful. It smelled good. It smelled like berries
No.
and punching things.
Right, what's yours?
This is from Anakin Skywalker. No, it's not. That's the subject. This is not. This is from Thomas.
Just sent an email.
Anakin Skywalker. Hey guys, you talked about babies with the name Anakin last podcast, and I use Google's new Ngram book tool. Seems the name's been around for at least 300 years.
Whoa.
Putting us in our place, Gav. Popular in the 1750s. Crazy parents. Obviously, Chewbacca is a better name. Check it out.
This is the thing, right? I've put this in here because last week Luke Kamali claimed that he was annoyed that people were now attributing the name Anakin
Yeah.
to Star Wars rather than just as a normal name, claiming that he generally said, "Oh, it's been around before that." I put this in there because even though we were wrong to argue with him, he didn't fucking know that.
But it's that point as well.
But we
It's like,
also looked it up, but it said George Lucas created the name.
did,
so I
yeah.
don't understand. What?
Well, Engram, are you calling Tom Robinson a liar?
No, I'm just.
Don't call anyone a
debating
liar.
it.
Don't call anyone a liar, Daniel.
that's rude.
What are you doing now? Checking Anakin Skywalker. I'm gonna take your
Probably
phone off
looking
you.
at that weird
No,
deer
this-
creature again.
He says, right?
But just because he says
But where did you read? Okay, have a look. Where did you read that George Lucas came up with it?
babynames.com.
Next question.
Sorry.
Adam Gurney.
Babynames.com.
Well, where are you getting your information about baby names?
Fair point.
Let me get on with this email.
Babyname.org.
All right, I've got an email to read about you. This
I know.
You shoot your mouth off. Gav, I have to ask you, why do you think the Monument Men is so bad?
Shit.
You've mentioned it on several occasions, and it's kind of bugging me how vehement you are over it. I know it didn't get great reviews, okay, but I picked up the Blu-ray for $5 and found it an enjoyable film that told a reasonable story, albeit I suspect somewhat loose with the truth, a la U-571 having Americans recovering the Enigma machine. Bloody Americans.
Rubbish film.
I know it's never going to be considered a classic. It very easily could have been much better, but it's so far from being a bad film that I can't understand why you have such a problem with it. Is it simply a case of having too high expectations of it considering everyone involved in the production?
Is it a case of having too high? Yes, because my expectations going into a film is that it's going to be good and not shit. So I think generally it's
Shots
like
fired.
for me it's one of the worst treatments of war in an American film, because I mean Americans do some crazy things with war films, like making
Hot
themselves
Shots.
look amazing.
Love
Man,
Hot
I love
Shots.
that. But
So good.
no, there's also about Hot Shots.
We're already wasted 15 minutes on Creek.
Speaking of Hot Shots, though, there's a shot this week of Jason Bourne, and he's like tying his hands with
Yeah.
like something.
Yeah,
That's
it's just like-
Hot Shots. Where he's like putting his hands in gummy bears.
Also,
bears and-
all I ever watched as a kid was Hot Shots Part 2.
I mean, yeah.
And then I found out there was Shots 1, and it was like a prequel. I was watching this, like, I didn't know about this. It's like origin story.
Yeah. I'm the same. I watched a part 2 before I saw that. But the reason I dislike Monuments Men is it's this thing where it portrays like the bad guys in a really cartoony way. Like it's for me, it's just like really heavy-handed. Like the message of like, you know, the Americans being the best people is so heavy-handed and just done perfectly in the sort of the way that it's framed with someone giving the lecture and stuff like that. Have you seen it? Yeah.
Nope,
It was like someone's like giving the lecture on like what happened, and it's just not a good film. It's just not. It wasn't fun to watch at all. Like I didn't buy that they were all. It didn't seem like anyone was having a good time. I didn't buy that they were all like good in their fields. Like they had all these characters, like in Ocean's 11, right? Because basically that's what they're billing it as. Ocean's 11 in wartime. In Ocean's 11, at least people have their roles and stuff like that. Whereas no one really seemed to have these different roles, and it was basically like, how many people can we put in this? But also they're based on real people who actually die, and it's like. You can't. It's like they had this like sort of like caper music in one section. Next section is a really like earnest bit where like a couple of big characters die, and it's like you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have Ocean's 11 and try to make a serious war film at the same time. That's what he's trying. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do.
Oh, that's a very detailed answer.
Yeah.
So,
how did it review?
I don't know. Not very good.
Poorly.
But that's from Adam Gurney. Hopefully that's
answered your question.
And if not, well,
is it me? Is it number 5?
Yeah.
This is from Sam Williams. Akin to looking in a fridge full of food and having nothing to eat, have you ever had a glut of amazing games to play but nothing is worth playing? If so, what were those games?
What do you mean something worth playing? That's
he says he's currently got GTA 5, Metal Gear Solid 5. Those are amazing.
I guess it's that paralysis of having just too much.
He says, I can't bear to commit the time to play them, so
he's got the games.
Project Cars and F1 2015.
Well, I can help you there. Chuck Project Cars out.
Yeah.
There you go. That's one less game you've got to play.
Pretty much.
It's a pile of shit.
Well, he says he ends up just playing...
Oh, it reviewed really well.
I think it's terrible.
He says he ends up playing a couple games of Rocket League or turning his PS4 on, signing in, and then turning it off again. I can kind of...
your problem.
I can kind of relate to that as well, because... it can be kind of hard to commit to
when
like
you have
game
a
time.
stack of stuff, it's just a bit
really
overwhelming.
hard.
You're like, I remember when I first
Rocket
got
League.
my 360. I just finished uni, and it was like a treat that I was going to get a 360 because I didn't want to screw up my exams.
Yeah.
And then I got a bunch of games bought for my birthday that I had stayed up. So I had Gears, Ghost Recon, all this stuff, and I just didn't know what to play. And I was like doing 5 minutes on each, just going, try this out, this is amazing. And I just couldn't like commit to one game.
Yeah. I feel like that quite a lot, and I do kind of get what he's saying, because I'm kind of GTA. I really want to put more into GTA 5 online. I've got Metal Gear Solid 5, and like what I've played of Mad Max, I really love as well.
Yeah,
but then at the same
Mad Max.
Exactly. So what happens is I load it. I put my PS4 on, and then I go, what should I play? Stick Rocket League on, and I play 2 hours.
Yeah, or just go. I put my PS4. I just put Netflix on.
Well, like one of the problems is like Rocket League. The
Yeah.
idea of Rocket League is like, I'll just play a couple games and it's much, much shorter. But in reality, you usually end up playing a number of games that would lead up to what would take, a mission in a heist in GTA 5, or even like a mission in Metal Gear Solid. And those two games, especially GTA 5 and Metal Gear Solid 5, they're both have quite snackable elements to them.
Even though they're huge games, you can do side ops in Metal Gear, and they're quite.
I was
like
a little
20
bit
minutes.
scared of Metal Gear to start.
Metal Gear is
huge.
overwhelming. There's so many bits to it. Like it's like Sims as well.
But when
like
you
the management stuff.
When you come at it from the approach of like, I'm going to play for an hour and I'm going to do like one mission or something like that.
Yeah.
It's quite conquerable. You can feel like you've achieved something.
It does stress you out though. I'm running a zoo now in Metal Gear. It was stressful.
Every time I finish a mission, he's like, we built a medical base. And it's like, I don't even know where anyone is.
I just thought I'd be like going in like kidnapping people. I'm like looking after some bears in a zoo.
Oh my god! I had an amazing part in a mission yesterday. I was trying to shoot this guy. He was like, you know how they're on the watch lights, and he was up on this really high up tower, and he just like shone the spotlight down at me. So I was like, I got to take him out quickly. So I pulled out my tranq gun and fired. But as I fired, a bird came down and got in the path and landed in front, and it hit the bird, and the bird went and died and alerted everyone, and it dropped from the sky. I didn't save the video.
Dude.
I was pissing myself laughing.
That's like
so funny. It was ridiculous.
You gotta save that.
He screamed like as loud as anyone ever.
That's
had
like
in
when have you ever seen that at baseball when
and it explodes.
Oh, it explodes.
It was ridiculous. This one did not explode. He
Okay.
just dropped.
Good.
What's your last bit of feedback, Kruber?
This is from Killian Burgess. I've been enjoying the stories of bad cinema experiences on the podcast, as lack of cinema etiquette is one of the few things that really gets on my nerves.
Good.
The worst experience I had was when I went to see Oculus last summer. I went to see a late show, and there were only a few people in the cinema. I was enjoying the film until about 20 minutes in, when a man who was quite clearly drunk came in and sat at the front of the cinema. He quickly fell asleep and snored so loudly it was difficult to hear the film. He woke up about 10 minutes later and threw up for a relatively long period of
Oh my
time.
God.
I went to find an usher, but since it was so late, no one was working in the main area, and I had to look around until I found an office at the top level, and eventually the man was thrown out.
That's horrible. A lot of experiences.
I said for a relatively long period of time.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the experiences we're getting sent, and please keep sending them in, which is IGN...
Underscore UK feedback at IGN.com.
Yes.
Snappy.
Yeah, keep sending in your cinema experiences, because we've been talking about doing something with them. Like, Rory wants to do something fun with them. But
Also,
anyway.
what people could send in is... We are coming up to 300, and we'll get on to what we're going to do with Podcast 300. We're discussing after that, transforming and rejigging some stuff with the podcast.
Yeah.
And one of the things we have been discussing is expanding the video component of the show. So you'll always get the regular podcast on iTunes, and love, hopefully love. But we might do some more stuff with the video version, which makes IGN UK Podcast make less sense. So we're toying with the idea of coming up with a new name for the show.
Yeah.
Just to put that out there. Yeah. And it's actually really hard to think of a good name.
It
so
is,
if you've got any suggestions, send it into IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com. And also one day it will lead to a new email address.
Yes, exactly.
So, but all of you have been campaigning for that new email address. Get us a good name, and we'll get a good email address.
I thought you started that sentence if it was going to be something like...
No,
good.
that's how I start every sentence, and then I just disappoint everyone.
Well, that's good feedback for this week then.
Okay.
We've got one more thing to talk about.
This is exciting. So, Podcast 300.
Yeah.
We are going to do a big fancy live event in London town. I'm afraid it is in London town, just because
That's where we all live.
that's where we live. Sorry about that. But there's other stuff in London. Come down. So it's going to be on 9th of October, and we want to give you, the people who listen to the podcast, the first opportunity to get tickets. They're absolutely free.
Yeah.
You just have to go to bit.do/podcast 300. And you'll go to an Eventbrite page that has all the information. It's going to be on the 9th of October. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to kick off about 6:30, 7 o'clock. But it will go to late. So if you want to book a hotel, stay over in London.
We'll be there all night getting boozed up and doing funny things.
But, but I think the podcast will be done about 10 or 11 if you want to get a last train home.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So
I'm excited,
I'll just do
man.
that again. It is bit.do/podcast 300.
And is that the 100 Club
It is.
in London, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
Crazy.
I don't usually like to play the same venue twice. But, no, but we'll put we're gonna put a lot of effort in to make it actually a good night.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the venue before? Like,
Yeah. No, we did podcast 100 there.
I saw the Strokes in
That's
there.
why I was being serious.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Yeah, we did podcast 100 there,
That makes sense, right?
and
I've seen a lot of good bands in there. Well, now us.
you'll be
Now
playing the
us, the
same
best
stage
band
as
of
the
all
Clash.
time.
That's
This
amazing.
is when we announced the beginning of our IGN UK band.
You might be playing.
Yeah.
Tilly on drums.
What's your band called?
Team Rocket?
And they, are you,
That's the reaction we want to
Rocket
hear.
spell.
RKT. Team RKT. It's cool. I like Team RKT better. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Team RKT?
no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But I want to see you play though.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gav. That's not cool enough for you.
What was that
I'm
voice?
with whoever wrote that email.
What was that voice?
Monuments Man.
Yeah.
Right, you bloody go
Man.
watch Monuments Man.
Expectations are too high.
Well, on that bombshell, I think we should draw this podcast to a close. So thank you very much for listening and come to our live podcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.